What is 5 exercises that you would choose for the rest of your life? Everything else has to go.
I do like these types of questions, because I think about this a lot and I've got some stock answers. So big one is front squat. You watch my Instagram channel, you watch me elsewhere, I'm always front squatting. And it's because front squat gives us all the benefits of a back squat mainly, but with none of a lot of the drawbacks.
Yeah.
So, you know, with front squat, I can still go heavy. I can push it. Don't need a spotter. I get a lot of the same systemic strength benefits. So my leg strength, my core strength, all that's going to be improved. But just with back squat, there's always an slightly inherent risk. Obviously, if you don't have a spotter, that's always problematic. And the beauty of this is that every time I do give back squat a go, which is every now and again, it never gets worse. Yeah. It never gets worse. So there's definitely an overlap between the two movements. My opinion is this: unless you're a powerlifter, you probably should focus on front squatting first before you learn the back squat. And this is something we do with all our juniors. We teach them to front squat first. Because if you get good at front squatting really early on in your lifting career, back squatting is way easier. But if you try doing that the other way around, try and take someone who's back squatted, you know, since they started out, and then get them to front squat, that's a lot harder to teach them that. Other movements would be Romanian deadlift, which is another one. I've written numerous articles on Romanian deadlift for Simply Faster, and I've spoken a lot about Romanian deadlift. I even did a sort of masterclass series on Romanian deadlift as well. And simply the hinge movement, which is the glutes, hamstrings, low back, all working together to flex and extend the hips. Deadlift is fine, but you're pulling from a dead start. A Romanian deadlift is a truly triphasic movement. So we've got an eccentric, a brief isometric, then a concentric phase to the lift. And teaching someone to do Romanian deadlifts, which is a top-down hinge movement, is way easier, in my opinion, than teaching someone to pick up weight from the ground up. Because there's a lot of organization that needs to happen when you pick something up off the floor. But standing up with something first, then bending down and standing up again, people cotton onto that faster. And if you're teaching the lifts, the Romanian deadlift is a great lift, because you're loading the hamstrings and glutes eccentrically, which the conventional deadlift doesn't do. So if you're looking to build athleticism, force absorption, and then force production, you can't really go wrong with the Romanian deadlift. And I encourage people to Romanian deadlift. And if we push it and train it like any main lift, people are doing Romanian deadlift numbers that nearly match their deadlift numbers.
Oh, really?
So personally, because I can speak from experience, my conventional Romanian deadlift with a hook grip is 270, which is the same as my conventional deadlift. So if
that's kilos, by the way.
That's kilos. So if you work hard on Romanian deadlift, we've had guys push it nearly 80%, 90% of their conventional deadlift. So that's 2. You need another 3.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
So it's okay. Let's throw in some upper body ones. So neutral grip pull up is a massive one, particularly yielding eccentric neutral grip pull up. So if you get good at pull ups, neutral grip pull up, particularly the lowering portion of a neutral grip pull up, because you've got so much going on there, from grip to forearm to bicep to lats, trunk strength. And there's something about that yielding eccentric movement on a neutral grip pull up that does a lot of good for most people. Going beyond that, and this isn't going to be a popular one, but I'm really fond of behind the neck pressing. I really like behind the neck. You have to earn it. But I really like behind the neck pressing as an overhead press movement that basically identifies if you've got whack shoulders or not. So if your shoulders are busted up and aren't healthy, generally behind the neck press is painful or uncomfortable for you. It suggests that something's going wrong there. If you practice behind the neck pressing, in my opinion, it leads to better all-round shoulder development, which is obviously super important. And there's something about behind the neck press that also doubles up as like a upper back movement as well. But it's a good way of showing where your shoulder health is at. And if you can't behind the neck press, my suggestion is do enough mobility and shoulder work and reaching work that you're able to open yourself up so that you can behind the neck press without it being uncomfortable. That usually identifies a really healthy pair of shoulders, if someone can behind the neck press without pain or discomfort. So I like it for that reason. So that's 4. The other one, which I'd probably say that most people should try, is some sort of heavy split squat. So if you've watched, again, a lot of my videos, the hand-supported split squat with a safety bar is something we emphasize quite a lot. It's a great sort of quasi unilateral movement. So it is a unilateral movement, but we're using a hand assist. The fact we're in a split stance means that, yes, while it is unilateral, technically we are using both legs, kind of. And with the split squat, it does a lot to open up the hip on one side, while strengthening, obviously, quad glute on the other side. And you get that transfer to running sports like that. But the best thing about split squats is if once you've trained them well, you can load them really heavy.
Yes.
Particularly the hand-supported split squat. I've got videos of guys doing like 500 pounds, you know, 230-ish hand-supported split squats for reps. And, you know, once you've got really strong in that movement, that then helps with all the other stuff that we get from our Romanian deadlifts, from our front squats. And if we can do heavy hand-supported split squats on top of that, you're probably gonna have a really well-rounded low body strength profile. So it'd be, yeah, those 5 movements.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that was a very long-winded
No, it's okay.
but I thought it'd be detailed.
No, yeah, it's better to have the detail, and it actually answered some good questions later on, so that's also great.